I used to let people walk over me, cross me, and even at times disrespect me, all because I didn't use my voice. But once I did, everything changed. Wow, what up, Tube? How y'all living? I hope everybody's day is going amazing, man. And if you don't know me, my name's Jaquan. My channel name Through Him, because through Him you conquered all. Through Him, the Most High. Everything you wanted had been already done, right? This video today is something that kind of inspired me just through research and kind of just pondering on life. I want to deliver this message, but I want to give y'all real life scenarios from my life experiences that I've had, that if you paying attention, you're going to understand what the theme of this story is. And I mean, you could look at the title, but I'm going to elaborate on these things at the end of the video. We all know whenever you coming up, especially if you have a lot of family members, if you have cousins around your age, growing up, y'all kind of did almost everything together. And you know, in the clique of the cousins, you understand, there's usually a ringleader who kind of deciphers what we gonna do, who help us get out of trouble, who probably starts a lot of the trouble. But you feel me, a lot of the time you making decisions about what we gonna do and what's gonna happen and things like that. I say that to say very early on, I understood that in my little clique of cousins, I kind of was the one that I'm probably gonna get us into something, son. And that's just what it was, you understand? And I think I carried that for a long time in my life. And I know when this started to kind of dwindle and things started to change, my perspective on things started to change. And it's the oldest tale of it. Competition. Getting older and, you know, entering certain environments, you get around people who also were probably the one of the cousins or in their family group of siblings that probably played the same role you played in their group of friends or whatever the case, right? And I think that intimidated me very early on. And I believe that it humbled me to the point where it kind of held me back from, you know, a lot of full potentials that I could have reached. And I kind of slid through the cracks and, you know, made my presence known whenever I felt necessary and kind of just let things happen when they didn't. So I say this to say, one of my first experiences of this is meeting my longtime friend. I met him in 3rd grade and we clicked off the bat. We both had just so happened to move from a city that was probably about 2 hours away. My first 3 years of elementary school, I went to a private school. So you can understand that dynamic of, like I said, me being the one that's going to do this and do that. It kind of was easy to keep that. You know, it's not a lot of I'm that guy going on at the school that I went to, at least maybe not even that early on. So my first experience, I went to public school and my friend, we clicked, and I just remember one day in school, we was in class and I don't know what he was doing, why he did this, but we talk about this all the time. He said that he was trying to tell me something and I wasn't paying attention or what, but this man out of nowhere punches me in the private area for no reason in class. I'm like, man. And I'm like looking at the teacher, looking at him, and I'm kind of shocked. Like at this point, I done got in little brawls in the neighborhood and with my cousins and stuff like that, but not just out of the blue somebody just do that. So that kind of threw me back, like the audacity of you to even try something like that. Like, that's crazy. I didn't like this private school, you feel me? And I believe that my friend at this point turning on me how I felt was kind of the icing on the cake. So I went home after like a few days and told my mom, like, I don't like this school. Like, I don't know, they weird over here. And she pulled me right back to the private school that I had went to. That was like my first taste of that, right? And I didn't do nothing to bro. I didn't tell him like, man, what the hell you doing? You tripping? I just looked at him like, you serious, bro? The irony in that is that in 6th grade, I moved to a new school. And on the first day of school, the first 5 minutes of school, I'm walking, trying to find my class. And I see this dude walking. And literally from that moment, it was like 3rd grade all over again. We clicked up and we stayed together all the way through middle school and till now. Like, that's literally my dog, right? So fast forward in life, a big thing is being involved in sports as a kid, right? A lot of parents like to enroll their kids in sports. And during this time, I had been playing sports my whole life since like 1st grade, right? And I still kind of carried that thing like, there's nobody messing with me, man. Like, literally. I got it and I'm gonna handle it, and I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. I'm that guy on the team, right? And I remember another humbling experience. When I moved to a new school, I moved to a new town, so I moved to a new team. And the competition thing kind of got to me, right? I get on a team that had just won the Super Bowl in this league the year before. So everybody, I feel like, is just as good as me. But, I step up to the plate and, I establish myself as a fairly decent player on the team. And we go pretty far into the playoffs. We lose, season over. Okay, cool, no biggie. Now, at this point, I'm in middle school, right? Still playing Little League football. I didn't try out for my school team because I was still old enough to play Little League. I'm like, I'm going to play with the guys I've been playing with. So I'm playing with these guys. I'm still having this like, okay, yeah, I know I'm that thing on the field. Like, I'm pretty decent. But I'm having these experiences in school, right? I'm now in a public school in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where in Baton Rouge or any probably area where it's like a lot of, where you got to be that to kind of just be okay for real. You meet a lot of guys that feel like that about themselves, right? And I think that previous humbling experience in third grade kind of just intimidated me into believing that I know that these people around me aren't better than me, but the fact that they're more willing to show to others what they can do, whether it be in a physical altercation or just even on a basketball court, because I eventually began to play basketball for this school. The fact that they more willing to talk about how good they is, brag about it, and say they this and say they gonna do that, it just was another form of humbling for me that I could have chose to show, hey, flaunt my feathers, or use this as a humbling experience. Like, these guys are just as good as me, and they never once proved it to me, right? I'm playing for my Little League football team, but I'm going to this school and experiencing these people who, not just on the field, this is a different type of life where in middle school, you're starting to come around to older things and you maturing a little bit. You're having different conversations. You're talking about different things, and depending on what area you're in, gonna depend on what kind of conversations you have, whether it be about, sex that early, if it's about like crime, if it's about I could do this better than you, if it's about taking something from somebody, if it's about taking, drugs, whatever the case, these things are stuff that I'm not used to. And I noticed over time with this thing, my sports that I loved, and that's where I would, show who I was and my abilities, never talking trash, just going out there and doing the best I can. I noticed that in some way, shape, or form, and I only can say this looking back at it, that my intimidation there bled into my performance in sports, and like I kind of fell back from my love of football. Had always been my first love, and I noticed this. So like 7th grade is my last year of eligibility for this football team, and I'll never forget it. So the previous year in 6th grade, we had a guy on our team, right? He decided that the next year he would try out for his middle school. He wouldn't come play back for us. So he, however this happened, remained eligible for us this whole 7th grade season, but he never played a down with us because he was playing for his team. So we make it all the way to the Super Bowl. Now, I done scored touchdown and I played cornerback. And if you know anything about cornerback, it's like one of the most like difficult positions to play on defense, right? And it take a lot of agility, speed, skill, things like that. You got to be smart too. So the day of the Super Bowl, the coach come and he say, hey, this team that we playing in the Super Bowl, they was our only loss this season. They beat us like 21-0. Every other team we smashed the gas on. Like they was that thing. They was a new team in the league out of New Orleans. We had never heard of them, and they came through and, was running through everybody. So he like, they beat us 21-0, as a team. I want y'all to collectively decide. This guy, let's just call him Tim. Tim, he been eligible all season, although he hasn't been playing. As a team, I want y'all to vote whether or not y'all wanted him to play in the Super Bowl with y'all. He didn't play. Y'all earned it. Some of y'all may feel like he didn't, and he just coming around. So a lot of us from the previous year knew him, and he was cool. He wasn't a bad dude or nothing. You like, man, yeah, like, let bro come. Like, I even voted, yeah, let him come. Let me tell you how the things turn. So like I said, through the year, I was doing well that season, but I may have had like a few times where I got burnt. Or a jump ball, I'm literally, the interception I remember falling in my hand. The dude on the other team, I'm catching it like a punt return. You know, it just dropping out the sky ball. Dude kind of like slide under me. I don't know if it's the glare or if my timing was off, but I'm like right here waiting on the ball. I don't know how. Dude slid like right in front of me, and the ball just, like, he slid like a baseball slide, and the ball just fell in his hand. He caught the ball on a 4th down for like a 30-yard. Dude just threw it up. So, you know, my team, like, bro, like, come on, this ain't never happened. Like, you know, and that happened like once or twice in the season. And, you know, I remember telling my partner, Tyree, I can call him right now, I'm like, bro, like, I felt like on defense this year, like, I don't know if it was because that was my best year on offense I had ever had or what, but I felt myself kind of falling back on defense. And I mean, I got burned. Like, that's crazy. As a cornerback, fly balls, man, you trying to house call it, you know? So I say that to say we voted for this man to come on the team, right? Come on the Super Bowl, man. So coach, he like, okay, so we got to rearrange how we gonna do things. So on the defense, in the Super Bowl, man, who do you think is taking off of defense? Coach rearranges the whole defense and pull one person off of defense now. In the Super Bowl. You know, your family come and see you, man. And pull me off, bro. And at the same time, he changed the offense up. So I played wide receiver. I was short, but, you know, in Little League, that don't really matter as much. So, you know, I'm wide receiver. I swear, not even trying to toot my own horn, I didn't drop a pass the whole season, like literally. I didn't drop a pass. Straight go routes. You know, this is 7th grade. You're not doing nothing crazy. Now, y'all be doing a lot. But in 14, 15, straight go routes, man. So we'll do this little halfback toss to the halfback, and the halfback was like good. He probably was the best player on the team, just keeping the G. KJ Franklin, shout out to him. And the quarterback tossed it to him like a pitch. He act like he finna run. He'd just drop back and just launch it. Every time, it'll be a touchdown every time. So he changes the offense to now we condensing, you know, as a wide receiver, you're on the outside. So now he pulls a player off of offense as well and adds another lineman. So now they running a power offense the whole Super Bowl. Guess who get taken off the field? Me. When I say, bro, my feelings was so hurt. This the Super Bowl. This the team that beat us 21-0. Like, my feelings was hurt, man. You feel me? And I didn't tell coach nothing. I didn't say anything. And crazy part is, shout out to him. Dude, like, just so crazy. Like, he ended up having to fight this crazy charge. Like, dude got sentenced to like 30 years or something now at this point in life. Like, and he apparently finna get out, like, on good behavior and with state time and all. They probably been in jail like almost 10 years at this point. So, guess what happens to this game? We end up going up like 14-0 on these boys. We end up scoring one more touchdown in the second half. It was like 20-21 or something like that. On the play to punch in to get the extra point, dude fumbles the football. We lose the game. We lose the Super Bowl. Either 21-22 or 20-21. We lost by 1 point. Didn't say nothing. Feelings was hurt. This is my last year of eligibility, and I didn't play football again. That was my last down of football, that Super Bowl. I didn't play organized football after that no more. Fast forward a little bit more in life. That same year, that's my 7th grade year, basketball season comes around for the middle school. At this point, I don't have nothing else to play. I try out. I start to feel a little better about myself, right? Now, I want to give you a quick backstory. So at the same time, my 6th and 7th grade year, I'm also playing organized basketball, but I'm playing for a team in Baton Rouge, right? I start on this team in 6th grade. I go on to this team with that same mindset I had been having, because up until that point, I had been the guy on my basketball teams that I played on. So I go on this team and like I say, with the conversations I'm having at school, with the way I'm seeing things, the way people are talking, I go on the court and it's like every time I get the ball, it's like I'm instantly intimidated. Like I'm trying to be perfect, and I'm trying to go as hard as I could. And what saved me was that my defense from football. Like, I'm very good at shuffling my feet inside. And, you know, small guys, y'all real. If you small, you know, you real pesky on defense. People hate when y'all guard because we just go so hard and, like, we always reaching. You can't do nothing. You feel me? Move out. You can't just cross us because we don't go for nothing because you tall trying to cross me, but I know you're not going that way because you actually got to move your body away to go that way if you going to go that way. If you playing with the ball, your hips never going to move. I'm going to just sit on it. When you small, you got that advantage. I'm playing basketball with this team. I end up just basically riding the pine. Like, I get in whenever we up. I get in maybe for a few seconds if one of the starters get hurt or need a breather or whatever, and I'm not handling the ball. I'm not playing like a point guard. Like, this is my first experience around 6th grade of, okay, we running real offense. Like, we going to do man defense. We going to do zones. We going to run plays, and you going to run them right. You need to be understanding the game at this point, really. And it didn't happen for me, brother. It didn't happen for me, son. And ironically enough, that 6th grade year, we ended up playing that guy from 3rd grade that I said was my dog. My 6th grade year, we played him in the championship. We won the championship, but it's just crazy how this dude always show up in my life. That's my dog. Love him to death. So anyway, like I say, fast forward back to after football, you know, basketball season comes around. We both are at the same middle school. Our little league basketball careers are over. We try out for the middle school basketball team. We both make it. Dude, I ain't gonna lie, dude probably the best basketball player I've seen. Like, at my age, continuing at each age, like, he just cold. Like, he was in 7th grade starter. Dude was like 5'6" starting, and he just a sniper from like 3. Like, if he shot it 9 out of 10 times, that mo was going in. But anyway, you know, middle school ball, I felt okay. It wasn't no real pressure because y'all have 8th grade starters. We might get in every now and then, but it wasn't pressure on me to perform, to do anything, because y'all have starters. These guys end up going to college and play ball for real. Like, these dudes is dunking and everything. So me and him end up getting closer now because we at the same school. We already kind of cool. Now we play on the same basketball team together. We spend the night at each other's house. With that being said, I decided to go play for his summer basketball team. Now, this is important because I'm leaving from my first coach in 6th grade, who I had been playing with for a year, and I'm going to a different coach. And like I said, our two teams had played each other in the championship, so I'm basically switching teams, like the rival. You understand what I'm saying? So I go to his coach. He been playing for his coach since he was a baby. I go play with him, right? And I'm, you know, doing well, but he knows a lot of guys, right? And this team took organized basketball a lot more serious than my team that we won a championship with. We had good players, but as far as coaching and pulling up and having organized practices and all that, we just didn't as much. We didn't, brother. So I go to his coach. His coach has a completely different take on the game of basketball and how he gonna coach his players. They all know each other. They all call each other brother. He is extremely hard on them and on their expectations. So I never forget this. I'm not going to go through my whole experience with him, but I never forget something that he told me that is a very key point of this video. Halftime in the game, we losing. We sitting in front of the coach. He talking to us. He pointing to my dog that I told y'all cold. Hey, you need to be doing this. He pointing to us. You need to be doing this. You need to be doing that. He point at me. He say, see him, all he gonna ever be is a role player. He only gonna ever be a role player. That's all he gonna be on this team. You can't depend on him for nothing but to be a role player. Y'all gotta know y'all personnel. Y'all can't be passing the ball to people who ain't gonna perform, that don't understand my system. Straight like that. He looked me in my eyes and told me that. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I wanted to cry. Like, think about it right now. Like, I could, like, dang, like. And at the time, I just hear role player. Like, I understand now that was offensive, but at the time, just hearing role player, like, that just, and not knowing the game of basketball to the point where I knew exactly what that meant, because there's role players that come and do their thing. But, like, dang, man, like, that's basically telling me I'm just filling the spot here. Like, I'm just here because I paid my fees to play. Like, that's all I'm going to be to you. You know what I mean? And that really, like, that messed me up in the head. Like, that really, like, I stopped playing for him. I stopped playing for that man after that, bro. And I didn't play no more organized basketball after that. Like, I didn't. for summer ball teams. I ended up trying out for my 8th grade team, made it, we did okay. And then my 9th grade year, I played. Long story short, I had a coach, he was crazy. He played with Shaq at LSU. He ended up making up a whole story that some college coaches was looking at the team and everybody who got long hair, you know the long hair, that's the thing, you know, you need to cut your hair off. So he kind of said it without forcing us because that's kind of illegal, but if you don't do it, then whatever consequences happen, they happen. Basically, from what I found out after the fact, meaning you're not going to play. So it was like 3 games where it was like 4 of us didn't cut our hair at all. Everybody else who started cut, I'm talking about lower than what I got now. Like skin, like no, not even enough to fade it, like slow. Cut everybody hair off, and for like 3-4 games we didn't play. And then with things happening with other people that were playing, eventually the guys that stayed that didn't cut their hair, they had to play because he didn't have enough players. But I stopped playing and I didn't play again. It's my last time playing organized basketball, organized sports at all. After my 9th grade year of basketball, I never played an organized sport again. As I walked through life and as I began this whole self-development thing, trying to right my wrongs in the sense of doing things now and making efforts now that I didn't make in the past, I realized something. I realized for a long time in my life, I didn't say nothing. I didn't stand up for myself. I was intimidated by the possibility of conflict, not because I was scared, because I have never been scared of anything or anybody. And I feel like at this point in my life, if it ever came down to it, I'll lose it all if the situation required for me to, in order for me to succeed, in order for the people I love to live. You understand? So it had never been none of that. It was my intake of these humbling experiences that I had. I looked at them like experiences that meant I needed to ball up that dog in me, that dark thing in me, that thing that as a young man and as a person in society to succeed, to not be oblivious to things, you need to let out every now and then. You need to know that you have that darkness in you, that thing in you that if a situation requires it, you don't care what anybody has to say, and not in an irresponsible way, but you will express how you feel. You will be seen, you will be heard, and how you feel about things will be understood by people, even if it means that relationships will not work out. And that was something that intimidated me. I didn't want to tell my friend in 3rd grade how I really felt, how that really made me feel. I decided to leave the school. I didn't tell my coach, you taking me off this team, you taking me off this starting roster for this guy that didn't play all season, and he messed up, and I didn't come to you after the fact and say, look, this is how I feel about it. I feel like I worked all season on this, and I allowed my intimidation by that. I allowed myself to feel like I wasn't good enough in those situations, right? And that's why coach decided to make that decision. I mean, I did get burnt once or twice. I didn't realize that every good cornerback get burnt in the season. It happens. It's a part of the game. I didn't realize that I should have said something or did something to my partner. And okay, if moms fuss at me for shoving somebody in class or getting loud or saying something back or get upset and let it be known. I didn't want to disappoint moms, right? By going home with a referral or pulling my card. Because even, pulling cards, you talking in class, pull your card. Pull your pen, whatever. I didn't want to upset moms in that aspect, right? This coach, you a role player. I just took that on the chin. I felt so hurt, even though I didn't fully understand it, but I didn't. Who you talking to? I put in work. You tripping? I did what I needed to do. I come to practice and I perform, and I didn't even say, you know what? This coach is calling me a role player. Let me go work on this game. I didn't even have that understanding at this time. Let me go show him. That's how you feel. All right, but I'm going to work on this now. When I come to practice, I'm going to bust all your starters' ass every practice. That wasn't even nothing to me. You an authority figure that told me something that I don't like. You hurt my feelings, but for some reason, I blindly gave you the authority to do that to me. It's okay. It's a learning experience. But so I say that to you to kind of sum up this video, man, and where I'm going with this is that there are times in your life where you are going to go through things that you are going to feel a way about stuff, and I in a sense envy people who are very outspoken and will say how they feel and what comes to mind. I'm grateful that the Most High put me through those humbling experiences that I didn't express myself, because I think that I have a head start on holding my tongue when I'm supposed to in a lot of situations, and to the point where I know that I'm a calming mind to a lot of people and, important people in my life, which is good. But I also know that I did skip out on, and sometimes it can cause me to feel intimidated, even in business. While I'm talking to a room full of people, we talking about business and the well-being of a client, and I'm feeling away, and and I know because I'm hands-on with a client that what you're saying is something that it won't support what we doing here, and I may just let it go by. And that's why I love and appreciate my cousin, because I draw that inspiration from him every time he's speaking to me, and he has brought that out of me while I'm outspoken about it now. Like, hey, no, like, and that's not how it's to go, because you got to understand that this, that, and the third is happening. And if we're here to do this, then that means that we all have to be on this page of this. And there are things in the home that we see that you guys, by saying this, although it may work, we have implemented in different ways, just, and being able to articulate myself in a way while still letting be known, like, hey, you're not just finna swindle us, and you're not finna belittle us in the care that we provide, because I put in the work now. You understand? I put in the work, like, you feel me? And it allowed me to kind of be able to pop it a little bit, because it's true. It's true. Speak up, man. And it's okay to mess up. It's okay to step on toes, bro. I promise you're going to be all right. I promise it's not as bad as you think, man. Avoiding that conflict is only really pushing off your development as an individual. It's only pushing off your inevitable success that you want, man. It's okay. You have to have tough conversations. And I've grew a certain liking and loving for these conversations, man. Like, I feel so good after the fact, because those are the conversations that, when they say growing pains are real, they are, because while it's happening, you don't feel the best. Before it's happening, you don't feel the best. But after the fact, and you feel understood and heard, and you realize that you adding real, substance to what's going on, man. Hey, listen, it is what it is. And just stand on what you believe in. Protect you, because nobody is going to voice how you feel but you. You may get lucky every now and then where somebody may read your face and express something that you may have been thinking, and it's easy to trick yourself into believing, okay, well, I'm gonna just wait for situations like that, or I'm gonna try to make a face like, so this person could see what I'm on my face and try to say what I'm thinking, so I ain't got to say it. Your mind is gonna create small ways to cheat the system, but at the end of the day, it's just work, man. And we all are able to do it. And like I said, you start to grow a different liking for choosing yourself, man, and speaking up. You understand? It's okay, man. It's going to be okay, brother. You're going to be good. You feel me? You're going to grow from it. You're going to be able to articulate yourself in ways that you didn't think you knew how. You're going to make yourself feel okay to have conversations with people that you didn't think you would have conversations with. You're going to realize that a lot of this stuff is just all games in our head. And throw back to my old video from a few days ago when I talked about my boy T and having conversations with people who may be of a different financial status than yourself may be. It's okay. They don't look in your eyes and see the exact amount of dollars in your bank account, or they don't see the potential in you either. They don't understand where you going in life. But as you speak, it's the only way that they go, okay, I see where he going. I like him. And that matters more than anything. What you got now, that don't matter, man. Where you at now, you understand, that don't matter. Have these conversations. Voice how you feel about things and say it. You understand? Be loud and be bold about it. You understand what I'm saying? And yes, it may ruffle some feathers, but who didn't ruffle feathers on the way to getting what they wanted? You learn ways to articulate yourself where you're not being rude. You may not agree with what I'm saying, but you got to respect it. And I'm going to implement the fact that I hear what you're saying, but all I'm saying is what I'm saying and how I feel about it. Now let's come to an understanding about it, and that goes for family, that goes for a relationship, that goes for business, on all aspects, man. Like, I promise you be good up, man. I promise you. That kind of sums up where I went with this video. I hope it resonated with somebody, man. Hey, I got a week till I go to the crib, and it's going to be like me and my partners, me and my cousins, you heard me? It's going to be a fun video, and I don't know what is in store, man, but I know I'm going to be recording, brother, and yeah, man, I can't wait. I know I'll be doing y'all bad whenever I go home and don't record. I ain't been home since August. It's December. You feel me? So, but I got y'all, man. Stay tuned. Be on the lookout for my vids, you understand? And I'll be back when I be back, man. I love to post every day, you feel me? But I want to come on here with that yeah for y'all every time. So, you know, just bear with me. I don't got nothing more than that to say. Really, look, I'm already looking up because through him you conquered all. Through him, I promise you that thing, it been, I'm talking about been already done. I'm out of here.
I went through hell and back and I came back a better me. Said this so many times, but I swear I finally see